The Big Rip. You're at the grocery store, cart half full, you're comparing brands of pasta sauce, thinking about dinner, and the air feels wrong. You blink, and the shelves are further away. You reach out, but your hand never gets there. Your atoms are no longer yours. The sauce, the shelf, your thoughts, everything gets pulled apart into silence. That's the Big Rip. Imagine the universe is on a treadmill, and someone keeps cranking up the speed. Slowly, then faster. At first, galaxies jog along fine. Stars keep pace, even atoms hold together. But dark energy, that mysterious invisible force accelerating the universe's expansion, doesn't stop increasing. And eventually, not even the most fundamental forces in nature can keep up. Until there's a big rip. Right now, dark energy is causing space itself to expand. Galaxies drift apart, but structures like solar systems and atoms stay safe for now. But in this nightmarish scenario, dark energy doesn't just stay steady. It grows. It accelerates the acceleration. First, it tears galaxies apart. Then it stretches star systems until planets rip free from their orbits. Earth could be flung into the void long before we even see the end coming. Eventually, the same force that keeps electrons orbiting nuclei gets outpaced by the runaway expansion. Molecules unravel, atoms disintegrate, quarks and leptons, the tiniest building blocks of everything, fly apart, no longer bound by the laws that once made up physics as we knew it. And then, nothing. No space, no time, no remnants. Just an empty, featureless void, expanding into what we can only be described as not existing at all. We don't know when or if this will happen. Current data suggests it's unlikely in our lifetime, or in the next billion. But if dark energy ever shifts its behavior, this terrifying unraveling could start ticking. Big freeze, heat, death. You're folding laundry on a lazy Sunday. Sunlight through the window, socks unmatched. You stop for a moment thinking about dinner. Outside, the world is quiet. Then, so is the sun. Not because it explodes, but because it fades. Slowly, over billions of years, every light in the sky flickers out. The warmth you once felt becomes a memory. And then, even that is gone. The laundry is still in your hands. But your hands no longer know warmth, or light, or time. The Big Freeze, also known as heat death, is arguably the universe's coldest and most anticlimactic ending. No bang, no tear, just a slow invisible end as everything winds down. Forever. Here's how it works. The universe is expanding, galaxies drift apart, space stretches, and everything gets more spread out. Over time, stars burn out like dying embers. New stars can't form anymore, because the raw materials, the interstellar gas clouds, will be used up or scattered too thinly. Entropy, which is the universe's tendency toward disorder, keeps rising. Energy spreads out evenly until no region has more warmth than any other. That's when the universe hits maximum entropy, a state where no useful energy remains to do anything. No motion, no life, no light. Even black holes, once thought to be eternal, will eventually evaporate through Hawking's radiation, leaving behind only cold radiation and ghostly particles floating endlessly in darkness. This isn't a flashy end, it's an infinite one. A long, silent fade into nothingness that takes place over trillions of years. Some scientists believe this is the most likely fate of our universe. Simulation shut down. What if the universe isn't the ultimate reality? What if it's just a simulation? An ultra-complex video game running on some advanced civilization's cosmic supercomputer. That's the core of the simulation hypothesis, which proposes that everything from the stars in the sky to the weird thoughts in your head might just be lines of code humming along inside someone else's hardware. If this theory is true, then the scariest way the universe could end isn't with a bang or a freeze. It's with a shutdown. Just like a program can be closed or a hard drive can be wiped, our entire reality could vanish if the simulation is turned off. No warning, no fade out. 1 minute you're sipping coffee, and the next, nothing, not even darkness, because even darkness needs a running system. In this theory, you, your thoughts, your emotions, your memories are all emergent behavior from code. And if the server crashes or the simulator decides it's time to run version 2.0, then it's game over. No respawn, no backup file. If we're NPCs in someone else's game, then we're bound by their rules. And if they shut it down, we go down with it. There's no scientific evidence proving we're in a simulation. But here's the thing, there's no evidence we're not. Some thinkers even argue that advanced civilizations would inevitably create simulations, and we're statistically more likely to be inside one of those than in the real base universe. And hey, while you're here, smash that like button before the simulation glitches and replaces you with a slightly more productive version. Big Crunch. Imagine you're vacuuming your living room, podcast in your ears, when the world around you gently exhales. The air feels heavier and the walls feel closer. The sky begins to fold inward like a collapsing tent. You're still holding the vacuum when the sun disappears, not because it sets, but because it's being pulled back into a sky that's shrinking by the second. One moment you're cleaning crumbs, the next, you're part of a universe slipping into itself. What if the universe, after all this growing and stretching, just decided to come back home? That's the idea behind the Big Crunch, a dramatic and cataclysmic scenario where the universe stops expanding and starts shrinking literally. Galaxies start collapsing, stars are smashed, and space itself folds. To understand this, we might have to rewind a bit. The Big Bang kicked off the universe with an explosion of unimaginable energy, flinging space outward in every direction. For a long time, scientists thought gravity might eventually slow all that motion down, maybe even reverse it. If the pull of gravity was strong enough, the outward expansion would stall and give way to a full-blown contraction, like a rubber band snapping back. As the contraction began, everything in the universe would begin to converge. Galaxies would crash into each other. Stars would burn hotter as they're crushed closer together. Eventually, all matter would collapse into a dense singularity, like the one we believe started the Big Bang in the first place. And maybe, just maybe, a new Big Bang could rise from the ashes. Vacuum decay. So you're walking your dog, earbuds in, sun on your face. Your biggest worry is whether you forgot to lock the front door. And then, just like that, beneath you, the sidewalk, it evaporates. Your leash dissolves midair. You don't even feel it happen. 1 second you exist, the next, physics hit Control-Alt-Delete. To understand what just happened to you, picture this. The universe is lounging in what it thinks is a cozy recliner, legs stretched, sipping cosmic tea, but underneath that recliner, it's actually sitting on a trapdoor, and everything could go wrong if the trigger is right. According to this theory, everything we know and love could disappear without warning, all because we're not actually in the universe's true resting state. Okay, here's how it works. In quantum physics, what we call a vacuum isn't just empty space. It's a state of energy. A false vacuum is like a ball-stuck crevice on a hill, stable enough, but not at the lowest point. One day, a tiny quantum nudge, maybe from a high-energy event or just sheer randomness, could knock that ball loose. And then a bubble of true vacuum forms. This bubble expands at the speed of light, rewriting the very code of reality as it goes in a your atoms no longer hold together kind of way. Physics as we know it, gone. Chemistry doesn't apply anymore. Stars, planets, people, just a memory, if memory could even exist in the new physics. What's scarier is we'd never even see it coming. Big bounce. So you're standing at the kitchen sink, rinsing a plate, lost in your thoughts. It's quiet. Maybe you're thinking about that thing you forgot to do yesterday, or the long overdue project that you gotta complete at work the next day. Then suddenly everything freezes. Not in fear or surprise, just literally. Time collapses inward. Reality falls like wrapping paper. And then it starts again. This is the Big Bounce, a theory that says the universe never really ends. It just resets. So on Earth, we'll be back to prehistoric ages and humans will have to evolve once more. Like a lung, the universe breathes out, expanding for billions of years, and then breathes in, collapsing under its own gravity. When it can't contract any further, it rebounds and a new universe is born. It's more like the universe's way of recycling itself. Instead of the traditional Big Bang, which assumes a singular beginning, the Big Bounce theory says, nope, this could have happened an infinite number of times already. Each time, matter, energy, space, and time explode outward, evolve, cool down, only to collapse and start again. If this theory is true, you might be living in one of the countless recycled versions of reality, where everything you know, love, and fear has played out before, and will again. Not identically, but close. You wake up, fold the laundry, start your day, just like last time, and the time before that. So maybe there's no final goodbye, just an infinite cosmic loop. But how would you ever know it's happened before? Maybe deja vu is just the universe remembering its own past life. Alien Grey Goo. You're just out for a run, music blasting, lungs burning, when suddenly the grass starts vanishing underneath your feet. Trees dissolve into nothing in the same way Iron Man's nanosuit appears out of nothing in Infinity War and Endgame. That's when it hits you. The nanobots are here, and they're hungry. The Grey Goo scenario is a chilling hypothetical in which self-replicating nanobots or microscopic machines malfunction or go rogue, designed to copy themselves to perform tasks like healing wounds or repairing infrastructure. These bots begin to replicate uncontrollably. And because they need raw materials to do so, they begin breaking down everything around them. Atoms, cells, concrete, trees, everything in their path is fair game. In this runaway replication loop, the entire biosphere could be consumed and replaced by a growing mass of unthinking, formless nanomachines. Hence the name Grey Goo. Is it possible? Technologically, we're not there yet. Creating self-replicating nanobots that can function in the real world, let alone outsmart every failsafe, is still science fiction. But it's not outside the bounds of future innovation. That's what makes the idea so unnerving. Some scientists say it's exaggerated, others say it's exactly the kind of low-probability, high-stakes event that needs serious planning. Because if Grey Goo ever does happen, you wouldn't realize it until it's already happened. We might not be at that level yet, but who's to say some faraway alien civilization hasn't? All it takes is one bot with bad code and no off switch. Hopefully they're not advanced enough to create nanobots that can devour dark matter. The Big Slurp. You're brushing your teeth before bed, half listening to a podcast, wondering if you remember to pay the Wi-Fi bill. Then suddenly, silence. The mirror never gets its second glance. You never get to rinse. The universe just hits the drain and slurped itself out of existence. The universe might look stable, stars shine, gravity holds, atoms behave, but what if all of that is just a temporary illusion? This is the false vacuum theory, or as some physicists lovingly call it, the Big Slurp. It's the idea that the universe is living a lie. Right now we may be stuck in a false vacuum, a kind of cosmic half-truth. It's stable, sure, but not the most stable it could be. The Higgs field, which gives particle mass, might not be sitting in the lowest energy state. It's like a marble resting in a dent on a hill. Not rolling, but not in the bottommost pit either. All it would take is a tiny nudge and that marble could tumble down into a deeper valley. And if that happens, it's game over. A bubble of true vacuum would form somewhere in space and start expanding at the speed of light. This bubble would rewrite the rules of physics as it goes. And the worst part, you wouldn't see it coming. No warning, no sirens. 1 second you exist, the next, you're nothing more than a forgotten line of broken code in a physics engine that got patched mid-game. So if you suddenly vanish mid-sentence, blame the universe for finally slurping itself.